started this. We're restarting this because Chris just walked in. It's unbelievable that as Americans, we can't decide who the president is. That's one. But the sad part is we can't count. We are at the highest part of technology ever in our country, and we are counting by hand mail-in ballots. This is piggyback. This is 1940s horse and buggy shit.
I mean, it is what it is, but I mean, it's shitty, but we kind of saw this coming.
Yeah, I think everyone did.
I don't think everyone did. I mean, hell, half my friends in LA and Austin and New York, they're all just like, no, every vote matters. Count every vote. And I had he's not necessarily a friend. I've worked with him in Hollywood for a while. Great fucking guy. Super left, super liberal. And he made a post about every legitimate vote counts. But the key word in that is legitimate. And what we're finding out is there's massive fraud. And that's something that can't be, like, it's apparent. So if there's fraud in one state, then there's probably fraud in other states, which means how much of these mail-in ballots are actually real, which goes back to what we were talking about, what, 6 months ago, 8 months ago?
Yeah.
Like, what happened to COVID over the last 3 days?
Yeah. You know what?
Oh,
Really?
wait. Weren't people quarantined with COVID-19 allowed through the CDC?
Yes.
And encouraged to go vote?
It's
What the fuck does that tell people?
their lawful right.
Yeah.
It's unlawful to keep you quarantined to vote. But you can't go to church. You can't go see your dad get married.
Right.
You can't go to work unless it's essential.
If this doesn't tell people how much of a fucking show this is, you really are a moron. You're an idiot.
And listen, obviously over half the people that voted are really retarded. And now, buckle up.
Well, this was confirmed. So I've got a friend of mine that worked on Trump's 2016 campaign and 2020 campaign. She is probably the most genuine, honest human being in the world. So I know she would never lie to me. And I got another friend of mine who lives in Atlanta. His family's in the military. I'm getting somewhere with this. She sent me a text on election night saying that the ballots are all watermarked. All of them, across the country. Official ballots are watermarked with like a QFS blockchain watermark.
Okay.
And she's saying that now 12 states were targeted in this election fraud. 12 states that they thought they might be able to turn over, which are the 12 states. Well, now there's 6 of them that we're seeing, whatever happened in between 1 a.m. and 7:30 a.m., those are the states that obviously have been hit hard. Apparently the National Guard is now out in Arizona, Atlanta, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and they've been called up to go count the ballots and make sure that they're actually real ballots. And my buddy Mark down in Atlanta confirmed, the National Guard's all over the place down here, all the voting precincts.
Really?
So from what I've gathered is, and this goes back to what I said before the election, Trump's either going to win a landslide or we're not going to know who our president is for a while. Well, we got this one. What I've been hearing is just in the state of Pennsylvania alone, over 1 million fraudulent ballots were pumped into the system. A fucking million. So what happens now when the media is setting us up? Because think about it. This whole year has just been divisive, dissension, building on people's anxieties, fears. So what happens when you do take a large population? And here's something I want to reiterate. I'm not angry at any of my friends for voting for Joe Biden.
No.
I love those people. Here's where I'm frustrated is what happens when the media announces Joe Biden too early and says that he's our president, and then Trump takes it to the court. People need to remember he's still our president.
Yeah.
And that dude is not going to go quietly into the fucking night.
No.
So what happens if and when it goes to the courts, voter fraud is proven in such a manner that it may not be in all 6 states that are toss-ups at the moment, but what happens when 3 of them have to flip legally? And all of a sudden it goes Trump's favor. And now he is, through the Electoral College, the president again. They can't prove all of the votes, so Biden still keeps his popular vote, which is fucking fascinating, by the way.
More than Obama.
The dude couldn't get 7 people. Did you see even Kamala Harris's in Texas? She showed up. More Trump supporters showed up to her rally than Biden supporters. It was fucking hilarious.
Is that the one she was drunk at?
Probably.
Lady Gaga drew
God.
less than 200 people at a Biden rally.
Yeah, no shit. So something's amuck. But what I'm fearful of, and this is what I've been talking about all year, the holidays. What happens now after this election when it's going to get called too soon? Trump's actually going to remain president. Fraud's going to be proven. And then the country's going to go into fucking pandemonium. Chaos. Because the left's already ready for it. I was in Chicago last week. This is no shit. This is verbatim. I'm up there. I network, and we're trying to position things, hopefully, for a better 2021 up in Chicago. Working with about 15, 20 business owners. Every single one of them. These are immigrants that are now Chicago natives. This is their home. They've been there for 15, 20-plus years. They're all closet Trump supporters. They all think COVID's a scam. And when I was up there on Thursday night, Friday they got an ordinance from the city of Chicago saying you need to board up your storefronts, if you have one, before the election. So what are they preparing for? That's all it said. It wasn't in lieu of COVID.
Just board up.
Just board it up. So, and I'm one of 54 million Americans that own a gun. I'm one of those 54 million Americans that owns multiple guns. If Joe Biden wins, you're not going to see me go burn down businesses. You're not going to see me riot and loot. You're going to see me go hide in a closet for a while and start positioning things and adjusting because of the policies that he's going to initiate and potential lockdowns that he's going to initiate. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Why? Because I'm a logical, rational fucking person.
Yep.
So what were they preparing for in these 9 major Democratic-ran states with Democratic mayors, governors, DAs, the worst gun control laws, or the strictest, I might add, the worst gun crime? Like, okay, so what the fuck are y'all planning? And here we are. So I do not see this ending well at all. Like, unless there is some kind of miracle where the fraud can be proven outright and it's so blatant and the American people just have to accept it and all 9 Supreme Court justices say, look, this is fucking fraud. And we can actually point fingers at maybe a George Soros and people in the DNC, and it can go back and people actually go to jail. This is going to get messy as shit.
So what if we don't know anything and it hits, like re-election or like whatever the swearing date? What happens at that point?
The Electoral College, the way it works is, and I think this is funny because what I've been doing on social media is jabbing everybody because I want people to go look up some of the stuff that I talk about. I want people to go fucking read for themselves. I want them to realize, there's stuff out there that I've never read before. Fucking morons. The way the Electoral College works is these delegates, and Ethan, correct me if I'm wrong or just help elaborate on this. Long story short, they have to, on our behalf, go in and announce the president on December 14th. That is legally what has to happen. They have to go in and pretty much say, hey, the state of Georgia wanted Donald Trump to be president. This is who we're going to announce through the state of Georgia. After that, legally, then the inauguration's on the 20th. If that does not happen on the 14th, then on the 20th, if I'm not mistaken, the Secretary of the State becomes the acting president, which then would be Nancy Pelosi.
The Speaker of the House.
Yeah, Speaker of the House.
But here's the deal that's been coming out today that I find very interesting. The Republicans gained 8 seats in the House.
Right, which is hilarious,
lost 2,
by the way.
So we have a net gain of 6 Republicans into the House. And there's rumors. This came from the Daily Mail, so take that as you will. But there's rumors that AOC and the squad want to oust Nancy Pelosi because she wasn't getting anything done. There's a lot of Democrats, especially voters, but a lot of Democrats in the House that do not like Nancy Pelosi.
Who should?
Nobody does.
Here's the thing about AOC. She doesn't scare me.
No.
She has terrible policies, but she doesn't scare me. I feel
She's
like
not
she's
a-
someone that no one's going to take seriously for a while.
Yeah.
If
Sure,
that was the
or-
case.
or
She's a kid.
Even if they do, she's not a stonewall.
No.
She is very much like I'll work with somebody else to get what I want.
Right.
That's fair. That's how it's supposed to work. But Nancy Pelosi is a stone wall.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't like because again we've talked about it. Me and Gunner. There have been multiple concessions on Trump's base or on Trump's behalf for these stimulus packages. School student debt.
And they all got blocked.
got blocked because Nancy Pelosi just doesn't want to, let Trump have one last win.
Right.
And
Which makes sense because they needed those things so that the media can spin it, so that again, all of this continues to fall back on Trump.
Yeah.
Even the voter fraud, they're spinning it on Trump, saying he's trying to suppress votes.
Yeah.
When in actuality, it's like, no, we need to make sure that they're legitimate votes. And I don't know if you saw this today. We were talking about it earlier in the state of Michigan, because voting's public record.
Right.
In the state of Michigan, hundreds of people have all been found with the same exact birth date, January 1st, 1900. They're 120 years old,
It's all
and they've
on
all
Twitter.
voted.
Yeah.
So
They sent in to get their registration on the 2nd, to become a registered voter on the 2nd. Got it on the 2nd, returned it on the 2nd, and it made it on the 2nd.
that's impossible.
Exactly.
that's
Eric Trump
super
or Donald Trump retweeted somebody
Yeah.
saying that.
They're going to be able to prove this in some states.
They registered, received it, returned it, and it made it all on the 2nd.
So here's what's happening too. The GOP is silent right now.
Yes.
They are one. Here's the thing: the swamp runs deep. All right, politicians are all in bed together, and they all
Oh, yeah.
fucking suck. This is. I still can't figure out Donald Trump. I really don't know from all the things we've talked about. But this is kind of. I'm leaning more towards the fact that the dude really might be a hero, or he is the greatest fucking distraction, and this is all part of the plan to ensue chaos and get 54 million plus gun-toting constitutionalist conservatives to go along with the greater plan. Think about it. If this does work out a certain way where Trump maintains and is reelected, but it comes out of chaos, what civil liberties are we going to have to give up because of that, guys? This patriotism, because the left went crazy. It's fucking brilliant plan to get people like me to go along with it. And so I'm over here just thinking, fuck, I don't know. I'm not exhausted. I'm not worn out. I'm sitting here thinking like, all right, I'm fucking Paul Revere. I'm going to get on my horse. I'm going to do my own thing. When everything fucking goes to shit, all y'all are going to die, and I'm going to be in the woods somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sad that we can't even put together a plan because we
No.
don't know.
No.
And it's embarrassing as a country, as an American, that we're doing this. It's 2020, and we literally can't count votes right now.
I think it's more than that. We can count votes. This is a massive stall. This is this would not happen if it wasn't fraudulent. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. This has nothing to do with counting. I don't believe it at all.
130,000 votes go into Michigan at what?
138,000 votes show up like 4 something in the morning in Michigan, and 100% of them are all Joe Biden.
150 plus did the same thing for I think it was Wisconsin.
Yep.
And then 200,000 in Philadelphia. Same time frame.
All
All
of-
went to Biden.
All of that's mathematically impossible. That they're 100% Joe Biden.
So when Trump gave his speech at 1 o'clock in the morning, election night, and everybody went to bed, when he woke up, he was now almost behind in those states.
Yeah.
Or Biden was in a striking range.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
And then they called Arizona. So there's videos now, which is fascinating to me. There's people going. Did we lose it?
No, we're good.
There's people going and collecting ballots in the state of California. So hear this. 2 things. So this was today. They're going to collect ballots in the state of California today. And the state of California has already been called. How? Not only that, what happens when you've seen the rallies in California? You've seen what's happening in some of these states that like California's bankrupt. It's one of the worst states in the United States when it comes to cost of living, your
Yep.
livelihood. Like the list goes on. It's not a good state.
Can't do anything.
Can't do anything. Newsom is a piece of shit. I think that there is a massive percentage of people in that state that wanted to see things change, and the only way to do that is through the Senate, through the House. So what happened to all those votes? when it comes to these seats that could have been flipped.
Yeah.
And not only that, how do we know who the president is? Or not? We don't know who the president is, but we know all these other people.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking ballot.
Yeah. If you voted R,
Yeah.
you voted R.
So
Well, not necessarily. I know a few people that have voted not for Trump because he's an asshole.
but
But
here's what
voted
I'm saying, though.
R
It's
down
the
to take
same
it out.
ballot.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
It has nothing to do with if you crisscrossed applesauce or whatever,
yeah.
Christmas tree that shit. It's the same ballot. So if they knew it on this side, why wouldn't they know who the president is?
Yeah. Makes no sense.
Fraud. Either way, I'm sad because I work really hard. Stuff really is moving in a good direction. And I think everything's about to get real fucking messy.
Listen, small business tax sucks.
Mm-hmm.
It's about to get really bad.
Well, if Joe Biden, here's what people need to remember, too, because I'm trying to talk to my friends in the reality of, like, one, we're not Saudi Arabia. And this, let's talk about social issues. We're not Saudi Arabia, okay? We're not throwing gays off buildings, okay? We're not burning them in the streets.
Right.
I talked to one of my good friends from New York. He now lives in San Francisco. He is a minority in two aspects. He's gay and he's black. Brilliant guy. Used to work on Wall Street.
Right.
We had a very, very good conversation today. Some of it was, that's a moot point. And his concerns really weren't about, like, where he is as a human culturally. His concerns were, what the fuck's going to happen to this country if Biden gets elected?
Yeah.
Which is not, like, that just lets me know where people's thought processes are. Because the minute that happens, you're going to see the economy tank. If we go through a 3-month shutdown, 90 days, for fucking what? There goes small businesses. And people have no idea what the fuck they're asking for because of policy. And Kamala Harris is a terrible fucking person. Nightmare. And guess what? Guess what? She's actually going to be running the country. Joe's going to die soon, regardless. That dude's on his last legs.
Yep.
So I don't see any of this panning out very well, at least for a while. And the only way to save it is if Trump actually does get reelected. It proves the voter fraud, and then some people need to go to jail. And then let's move on. Because if he's a sitting duck, I think this country's going to move in such a massive, fast-paced speed towards really, really good things that it's going to allow people to breathe for a little bit, and the media's going to have to shut the fuck up. But who am I?
Dude, who are we?
Yeah. What do we know?
I have
We're
no
just-
clue. No clue.
No, 7.8 billion people in the world. We don't matter.
I mean, was it North Carolina and Georgia at 99% and they won't call it for Trump?
Something like that.
Arizona was at 37% and they called it as
Well,
soon
the
as the
crazy
polls
thing
closed?
is the way that everything was trending, and they were counting everything. We've got mail-in ballots in this town or in this county, blah, 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 and it was all trending towards Trump, and they stopped it. Oh, well, now we've got more mail-in ballots. We weren't ready for them. We couldn't count them.
Millions.
Yeah,
Millions
it's
of them.
bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the numbers. Like, everything is getting way too close. One, for my comfort, just because.
Trump, and here's what scares me, too. Trump's not going to allow this to go through.
No.
He's not going to allow Biden to win. And so that's where stuff's going to get fucking wild.
They're going to call him a sore loser and everybody on the left's going to bitch. And
He's going to be a dictator.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Trump, I could be wrong, but he's been the furthest thing from a dictator.
Yeah. He is, like, just with COVID policy. People hate him for not being harder on COVID. But
was
he
great.
can only do so much at a federal level. Otherwise, he would be a dictator.
Yeah.
He legitimately can't just say everyone has to wear a mask now. You can't do that as a president because that's incurring on one, states' rights, but also our constitutional rights.
Right. If people are dying in the street, it's different. People are going to do that themselves. That's the thing. Most people, I say most people, can take care of their fucking selves. They can make decisions for themselves.
Yeah.
So, again, if we realize that, oh, my God, this is bad, maybe we should shut down the studio for a while. People are getting sick as shit. People are dying left and right. That's a conscious choice that any goddamn, like, I don't know,
Decent human being.
somewhat intelligent person could make.
Yeah.
That's not been the case. It's November, motherfuckers. But tests are going up.
15 days to slow the spread.
Yeah.
Yes, Election Day was the most positive test in a day.
Yeah. No
100,000.
Good.
I don't know what you were expecting. Like,
Hey, but guess what? If you had COVID-19 or coronavirus on election day and you was quarantined, and you was 3 days into your quarantine, you've had 5 positive tests, go vote.
Why not?
Actually, looking at this, the Google statistics just for Googling the word COVID, we had a spike October 5th, 21,000 out of nowhere, and then everything went back to normal. Oh, well, this is for Georgia. Hold on.
I really hope all this pans out, because I hope COVID's proven to be a fucking farce. Because I'm sorry, I think COVID is the reason we're having this issue anyways, is because it was to initiate the mail-in ballots. They came out with that very quick.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if y'all remember that, but it's like, yeah, well, if this is the case, well, we need to, postpone the election, and we're going to have everyone mail them in.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then, on the day of the election, they're like, hey, just go vote. It's okay.
Yeah, because they already had it all set up. Here's the thing. Trump's not stupid. I know people think he's stupid. He's not. And he's around probably some of the most intelligent military minds in the world.
Yep.
They knew this was going to happen. I can guarantee it. They knew this was going to happen, which lets me know they've got a plan already. I don't know how good it is. I don't know what it's going to look like. From what I've also learned about the Trump administration, they're very patient and they're very quiet sometimes about certain things. I really don't think Trump wants to cause pandemonium. He isn't saying certain things right now because he doesn't want the backlash, or he doesn't want it to look like it's back on him. And he doesn't, it's the same thing with COVID. He doesn't want the country to have unrest. I don't think.
Right.
So I think he's going to continue to be quiet until it's time. And when that happens, buckle the fuck up, dude, because you're going to see a lot of stupid people do stupid things.
Well, if they watermark the ballots, it should be pretty easy.
You'd think so. But what happens when they do have 200,000 ballots that was accounted for and now they're gone?
Yeah, so
what? Now we got to recount fucking everything in Pennsylvania? Like, that's the thing. This is where this is going to get messy. But he's going to have to be able to prove it. And I think where it's going to matter is in like a Michigan, maybe in Arizona, where it's so fucking close that it's going to be easy to be like, well, we have 8,000 fucking ballots for Joe Biden that are fake. Well, that pushes Trump over. Like, there's going to have to be something that it doesn't have to be millions. It may come out eventually that it was millions, but it's just going to have to be enough. But I don't know how that's going to work. I just know that people are going to lose their shit.
I guess we're going to find out. I mean,
yeah.
It's
I
coming
do
up.
want Hollywood to shut the fuck up, though. Oh, my God.
Yes.
The media in Hollywood at this point, like, if I could physically fight some of them, I fucking would, dude.
Yeah.
Just like, you're a piece of shit. You're literally causing these problems.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but people of minorities are not being gunned down in the street by police.
No, hey, and guess what?
Is it an issue in certain metropolitan areas when it comes to that type of situation? Yeah. But go look at where those issues are in what metropolitan areas. Democratic states, Democratic mayors, governors, DAs, strictest gun laws, all that shit. So I'm sorry. You know the highest gun crimes in Tennessee are? It's domestic violence is our highest gun crime. Spouses kill each other, and they're mostly white.
Yeah.
So sorry.
What I find funny about Hollywood is the only person that I really like. I just happen to see each of their posts every time they post. It's Mark Hamill, and Jesus Christ,
Mark Hamill, like
Luke
the
Skywalker.
Joker?
Yeah, he does not shut the fuck up about Trump. He is TDS at its like core.
Really?
Which sucks. But then you have all of the fans. It's hilarious every time I see an Instagram post. You click on the comments and it's just Trump 2020, Trump 2020.
That's the thing. How does any of this make sense?
Hey, guess what? Trump is so racist. He doubled all of his minority votes.
Right.
The most ever in Republican history.
Not only that, he gave what? $500 billion to minority community.
I think it was either it's $5 billion or $500 billion, which is
okay. It might have been.
lot.
Yeah, I thought it was $500 billion.
Yeah.
So $500 billion.
Yeah, for the First Steps Act.
He gave an insane amount for the African American community. But and y'all will love this. I was so mad at this comment, and this came from someone that I know, that I've worked with, a friend of mine in New York, first generation immigrant from Africa. She's a comedian. She's brilliant. She was on her Instagram Live, and she was explaining the Electoral College. She wasn't doing a great job, but you know what? She wasn't doing a bad job. It was like elementary school level. And then she got to the South, and she's like, this is the South, and it's always going to be red because it's racist. It's always racist. She's like, down there, it's like not even 1960. It's probably worse than before Jim Crow laws. And I was sitting here thinking, like, you ignorant, dumb fuck. You really think that's what it's like down here? And she said, everyone down there, all the whites are down there with their guns, and they're trying to intimidate minorities from voting by hanging out around the precincts. And I'm thinking, like, where did you get this information?
Yeah, I didn't see any guns when I voted.
When I went and voted, I saw one Chinese woman, probably 5 to 10 black people, a fuck ton of old people,
Yep.
couple of Hispanics, and I literally nodded at every single nobody, like everyone was normal fucking human beings.
Yeah.
Did anyone really want to talk to each other? No, it's fucking voting. It's not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go in, get it done, get the fuck out.
So looking at it, 500 million.
Still a lot of money.
Yeah, that's still a lot more money than anybody else has ever put up. But
Oh,
yeah,
by the way, speaking of money, because I like money, do you know that $100 million, okay? I think we had this conversation. Either way, $100 million is $5,000 a day that you could spend for 55 years.
Jesus Christ.
I'd
So
take that.
think about that when someone says they're worth 10 million versus 100 million versus a billion. Jeff Bezos is worth 174 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spend $5 million a day.
He can spend how many billions a day? Or, I mean, how many? He could probably spend 100 million a day for like 20 years.
Let me do the math.
Yeah,
I'll get
figure
back
it
to you
out.
on that.
Either way, I think we're all screwed right now.
You said
And this-
107 billion?
he's worth 174 billion dollars.
Okay.
That's quite a bit.
It is. a
Kanye
lot.
West is worth $5 billion.
He's really done some damage. I like Kanye.
You know, I listened to him on Rogan. I like him more than I did.
I think he's so brilliant that he's maybe on the spectrum. He doesn't know how to take his thoughts and put them.
He's a little slow,
Yeah.
but he's brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, if that makes sense.
No, it is. I think his brain is so fast and he's got so many things that he's trying to connect, but he can't.
Yep.
So,
And
and that's
he's-
why his music was so great.
Yeah.
But who am I?
Right.
I don't know rap.
I don't know, dude. I give up. I just want to know. I just don't want it to affect. You know what? And they say it's not going to affect, I don't know, I guess like your upper middle class or whatever, unless you're making like $400,000. It's not really going to affect
Yeah, they
you.
always say that. Look,
But it's going to
Biden's-
affect you.
Biden's policies are going to affect everybody.
Yeah. Because it's going to affect the top and it's just going to trickle down.
Everything that's going to happen, everything that Trump's done in 3 years, they're going to re-engage immediately, and they're going to do it faster, and they're going to do it harder. I mean, everything that they're going to do is America's going to be sold out finally, forever. Like it's if Biden is the president and remains the president, goodbye America.
It's sad.
It is.
You know, the Chinese yuan went down
Yeah, when Trump was
when
winning.
Trump was up, and it went back up.
Yep.
That should tell you something.
Well, I remember in the 2016 election when Trump was winning, gold, silver, commodities were going crazy. And it was a telltale sign. Like, the world is betting on Trump.
Yep.
China doesn't want Trump to win
No.
at all. I mean, because obviously, Hunter Biden and Joe Biden, they're in bed with China.
Yeah.
So
Fascinating.
did the math.
Yep.
With $174 billion
Mm-hmm.
liquid, you could spend $4 million a day for 100 years.
That's pretty good, dude.
That's
So you could spend $8 million a day and
For
live the rest
50
of your
years.
life.
Yeah. You couldn't even do that. It's stupid.
I don't think I could spend more than $1
Well,
million.
child
in a
trafficking,
day.
sex trafficking, stuff
Yeah.
like that. You can figure it out.
I'd buy cities.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I just start buying the world.
Jeff Bezos could just buy California.
I think
Oh,
I'd,
100%.
I think I'd buy a school district and just turn it into my house.
Oh,
Just buy a university and just turn it into my little city. He's allergic to Democrats.
Bullshit.
COVID, dude. Actually, sneezing is a sign that you don't have COVID.
Is it?
Yep.
Evidently, you don't sneeze when you have COVID or something
So.
like that.
Well, that's hilarious.
It's weird. You just cough a lot.
Yeah, you just get the flu.
The coof.
Yep.
You get the flu when you have COVID. It's funny how that works.
Oh yeah, like flu cases.
Yeah,
are,
what
like,
happened
down,
to the flu?
Like over 180% or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, how about this? Talking about percentages. The turnout for voting in these swing states that Biden's all
Yeah,
of
it's
a sudden
like
winning.
over 100%.
Well, no, not that. It's like literally 89% because they weren't counting the day of registers.
Okay.
Right. But still, 89% in it was either Michigan or Wisconsin, one of those states. It's never ever in the history of voting been over 70.
Well, I don't know if you saw the numbers. So, like, Wisconsin's registered voters is X, and the amount of people that came out to vote, and this is in like 7, 12 states, the amount of people that came out to vote superseded that. And a lot of these states, like the state of Tennessee, you're not allowed to vote unless you're registered.
Right.
So if you didn't register to vote, you can't vote on
Right.
the same day. And so that's what the disparity is like, how did you have all these people come vote if you don't have same-day voting?
They're saying Michigan and Wisconsin you can do that
Yeah, I think so.
because I pulled that up.
Okay.
So it was like 31 or 3.1 million in one of those. I get those
Yeah.
two mixed up. I think it might have been Wisconsin, and then it ended up being like 3.6. And out of
Yeah,
that 3.6, there was like 3.4 that showed up.
I think it was
Still like 89%.
Right.
I think it was Wisconsin. It was like 3.2, and then out of like at one point they had 3.2, and then they jumped up to 3.6, and people were like, "Where did these other 400,000 voters come from?
Yeah.
Like that they just come out of nowhere?"
Well, I just think it's fascinating that Biden's getting like Cesar Chavez numbers on the mail-in votes, like 80-something% across the board. Impossible.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
That the Venezuelan dude?
Yeah, or Costa Rica, not Costa Rica,
One of them,
Cuba.
probably some socialist country.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Cuba.
I just don't know where 130, 180 votes come from.
Just reverse it. Imagine if at 4 o'clock in the morning, Trump was winning by 100,000, and then all of a sudden he was winning by 240,000. The
Yeah.
Democrats would literally be burning down the streets.
Hang on,
Yeah.
I just got this in. DHS announces election audit sting after contentious U.S. election sparks confusion and outrage from election skeptics.
What?
What?
So what does that mean? In
What?
a stunning turn of events, the Department of Homeland Security announced that there was a federal government sting planned and executed for this election. It was established that this was intentional to determine the margin of fraud in the election system. With confusion in the election results as it is, the amount of fraud identifiers found in the sting is staggering. More than 14 million ballots have been reviewed nationwide for the Department of Homeland Security's new election countermeasure. As of 7:18 p.m. Eastern today, 80% of ballots have failed ballot integrity checks under this measure. A debrief of the election countermeasure from the Department of Homeland Security can be found below. The highest frequency of these non-marked ballots is coming from Arizona and Michigan, where over 48% of counted ballots did not contain this watermark. These votes are overwhelmingly supportive of Democratic candidate Joseph Biden. The election countermeasure was not endorsed or briefed with the president or candidate Biden. This was a background audit that has been planned since as early as May 2018. In this scenario, it is too certain to tell what the results of this audit will tell us to do.
That's crazy.
So
And
that's
that was-
Homeland Security?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's something that I was going to bring up was, and I think I mentioned this to Chris the other day, or like Monday,
Wow.
that the 2018 election, the midterms,
Yeah.
there were overwhelming numbers of mail-in ballots. In 2018, when we didn't have COVID,
Right.
there was no reason for there to be that many. Now, I do get, like, we've had mail-in ballots every election, midterm or presidential, for a while. That's just how it works. Absentees overseas, in the military, we have a lot of mail-in ballots. But for the amount, like the percentages, I don't remember the percentages now, but the percentage that we had in 2018 that were mail-in ballots that are close to, like, right now, for whatever reason, makes no sense to me.
This could be big.
Like, that's it and that when it said May 2018 for when they did the sting, that's very interesting. Or when they've been planning the sting for
Well, I knew
2020.
fraud was real, but if DHS is behind this, then
That's huge.
that gives Trump some fucking leverage, big time.
I mean, you even mentioned the president wasn't briefed, nor was Biden, This was entirely independent of either party.
That was
That's
set up
huge.
in 2018.
At least they started planning. Yeah,
Right.
That's
Wow.
huge.
So it was an undercover sting.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
found
why the
same
ballots
thing.
were watermarked?
Possibly. I can imagine that they've always had like some sort of fraud defense, like a watermark or something like that. But like, Jesus, that's crazy.
So once you count the ballots, they have to remain in the state, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Like, is there like? I might be an idiot, but is there like a janitor's closet where it's like, this is Biden's ballots and here's Trump's, and we just stack them up and we count them?
I honestly don't know.
Like, what happens when you put it in the machine? Does it not count?
I don't know. God,
Is it not a Scantron?
It's in God's hands now.
Yeah.
And what about the Sharpies?
Oh
the,
yeah.
the Sharpies in Arizona and in Michigan and
It's very interesting.
Oh, if Trump wins Michigan and Arizona because of fraud, it's over.
Oh yeah. Those are two states that Biden can't give up right now.
God, that'd be fucking hilarious. This country's gonna freak out. I'm exhausted. I just want to work. I can't work at all this year. Fuck everybody. Fuck everything.
Yeah,
Hey,
why?
Chris, do you have hopes and dreams? Yeah, I do. They're
I
all
did.
fucking on hold.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris saw me yesterday. I was just dejected. I was tired.
Yeah, I feel it today. I actually really do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not fearful. I'm just kind of just like, fuck.
I'm
You
just a
know?
little tired.
Yeah, I just feel like, fuck.
Like, I stayed up really late hoping to hear something
Yeah.
on election night.
Everybody did.
And then it was like, well, maybe they'll give us an idea. And then it's like, well,
Dude,
guys,
when they started stopping, I knew it. I was like, here we go.
well, Nevada decided to take the day off after election day to just not count. I didn't know you could do that.
Fucking
no.
break something.
Yeah, I
So
don't know,
stupid.
man. And then, I'm just tired, man.
I am too.
Then coaching 5-year-old wrestling practice.
Sounds terrible. P.S. I'm about to pee from drinking all this, so I'm done. I'm
Well,
done, dude.
I'm done too.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
It's
you
been
know?
fun.
This place is still here.
Maybe we'll know something next week.
Hey,
Maybe.
take heart out there, everybody.
Hey, vote for Trump.
Every vote counts.
Yeah,
Every
MAGA.
vote counts.
Make America great again.
Hey, did you see that there's a meme going around now that says all votes matter?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, what happened to the BLM movement and COVID?
It'll come back next election.
It'll come back. It'll be back in 4 years.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we don't know anything, so we don't really know what to say, just like the rest of the country. What you got?
Oh, I was just saying 43. It's
Oh.
episode 43.
It's episode 43.
Because I was almost 100% sure you did not know.
Yeah, I'm a billion% sure that I don't know. Episode 43. We'd love to tell you who the president is, but obviously, just like every other reporting network out there and media
Hey,
outlet, we don't know.
Listen, at this point, if we know by like New Year's, I am getting so shit-faced drunk on New Year's, because I'll officially be over with this year.
Yeah.
Like I can die happy on New Year's, like when it rolls over.
I can make this guarantee to you. If Biden is elected president, no hard feelings from me for anybody.
No.
I'm gonna keep living my life, doing my
Yeah.
thing, whatever. But I'm deleting every bit of social media.
Oh, entirely. Yeah.
We will have YouTube for this and the podcast, but everything else, bye.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
I don't need to. I don't need to hear the next 4 years of haha Trump lost, because that's all it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Because they're not gonna care about Biden doing bombing more kids in
No.
Iraq or Afghanistan. They're not gonna
Yeah.
care about all
Gas
the kids.
prices going up $2.
Gas prices going up back up to $5.
Yeah.
They're not gonna care about all that. They're gonna just be so happy that Orange Man lost. That's the thing. Like with the media and everything. What are they gonna do? They're gonna become like Gollum without the ring. They're just
Yeah.
gonna go crazy.
I was telling a couple guys I work with, I was like, man, I'm not upset that like Trump's not president. I'm just upset that the president is no longer going to be entertaining, and it's just going to be boring again.
Yeah, like, and it's not even that it's gonna be boring. It's just like, I can't even root for Biden. Like
No.
I can root for somebody like Obama. I was talking to Sting about this. Like Obama was a charismatic president.
Yeah, I liked Obama.
He was cool as hell.
a great speaker.
Greatest speaker I think we've ever had, save for like JFK.
The
and
most presidential president.
in modern times.
The-
Yes.
If you had to like go grab a vice president for a company that was going to be the face of your company, Barack Obama was the best vice no, not vice president in theory, but like the best face of a
Oh
country.
yeah, he was the
ever.
greatest.
Yeah.
And I think it's, you know, especially for us, because I do remember Bush a lot. And you go from Bush to Obama, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
What a great guy.
Right.
And then he got away with all this random stuff that he was able to get away with. And then you look back and you're like, okay, at the end of the Obama era, we didn't want another Democrat. We especially didn't want Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the article? All right, guys,
Yeah,
we're out of here.
We gotta get out of here.
We're out of here.